You touched on 2 points that I want to kind of go back to. First, I just was really curious of what do you think are the differences between being at a publisher and then being at a label? And then the second you can kind of go right into is just like, your relationship with artists. I think that's something that is a crucial key to being, in the A&R department. And a lot of A&Rs don't have that repertoire with artists. So just tell me how you built that and just like how you built that trust up with them.
So for me, the difference between the publisher and the label A&R is, one's a buyer and one is a seller. So as a label A&R, I'm hitting producers like, yo, I need records for this person. I need records for this person. I have a concise list of the artists that I'm working with to where it's like, this is what my priorities are. This is what we need. And I can call any and everybody to get the records. As a publisher, I'm a seller. So I'm getting all the information I got from the labels, from management teams to be like, this is who's working. This is what they need. And then I'm going back to my publishing roster and saying like, okay, these are the records I need. I need these type of beats for this person. I need these type of beats for this person. This artist is having a camp. So that's really the difference. It's just like one is a buyer and one is a seller. And then obviously on the label side, like on the publishing side, I really have no control after that though. Like it's either you're pitching the records and they either want it and then you connect them with management and they handle the business and do whatever. And you just make sure you get all of the split information turned in so that they can start collecting. But after that, it's kind of like all hands are off. As a label A&R, I have to see the process through from the beginning to the end. So it's getting the record cut, getting it mixed, getting it mastered, turning everything in, making sure all the splits are in, connecting with marketing to see what the focus records are, shooting the videos and the short content to where it's just like, okay, it's really from A to Z. Where with the publishing side, I'm really just an asset to where it's like I'm coming in, doing some shit, and then I'm out. I got other shit to focus on. And they both have their benefits. As a publisher, I know everything is going on at every label. So it's just like, okay, bet I can tell all of my guys, like, this is what's going on at Sony, this is what's going on at Universal, this is what's going on at Warner. As a label A&R, I'm focused on my label. I don't personally give a fuck what's going on at these other labels. Because it's like, I'm focused on my team and making sure that we're performing and we're getting, good shit out. So I think that is kind of the difference. But I also have more control in terms of, what's going to make the album in a sense. Not to say that I'm picking the songs personally, but my opinion is considered when we're putting these things together. Whereas as a publisher, they don't want my opinion. They just want my records. They want my producers. They want my songwriters to come in and help them. And then they'll go ahead and put their records out. So that's really the main difference. And on the artist side, I think my relationships have always been strong with artists because I always look at, once I find somebody that I fuck with and I like, and we have, like personalities, then it makes it easy for me to really kind of like mesh with them. Like we can really hang out outside of just the studio. And I think that's really what kind of matters is just like, you really want to become friends with these people.
Yeah.
Because it's like, that way you can understand them. You can understand what type of mood they're in or when something is going on in their life, when it's like, okay, bet something's going on with this artist and his girlfriend or his kids. So maybe we need to lean into that and see if there's something there that we can make a song about. They can make something touching or some shit. Or maybe the person is just a turned up ass teenager and we need to figure out how we, portray his lifestyle to these other kids that want to be a part of that and they want to see that and want to live like that. So when you can really connect with a person and you have similar likes and taste levels and shit like that, that's when I feel like you get the best out of your artist because you kind of already know without it being said. And like with the Cole situation, it always worked because I've known Cole since I was 17. We went to college together. And not even, and I tell people this all the time, we weren't even like best friends in college. Like not to say that we're best friends now, but that's one of my brothers in life now. But like we really connected after college when we figured out we were both trying to figure this music industry shit out. And obviously him as an artist, me as an executive. And when he started coming to LA and hanging out, and I would go to New York and just hang out, and we would just be able to talk whether it was in the studio or out of the studio or on tour. And it was just like, okay, bet we have similar taste levels. We have similar goals. And it's just like, okay, we can figure this shit out. You know what I mean? And I can help you in terms of like, these are the producers I think you should work with. I can introduce you to a Jake One at the right time. I can introduce you to a Hit Boy at the right time, or I can introduce you to a T- at the right time, and really kind of be like, okay, this is who I think you need to go fuck with right now. Because I just have an understanding of where he is, what he's looking for, and what we both feel like the next step needs to be. And that just comes from being around people, to be honest, and just spending time with them and clicking just as friends. And then as friends, we can obviously turn the friend switch off and be like, okay, bet we're in the studio, we're making a record, and this is who I think you should be fucking with. Or this is an artist I think you need to get with. It's funny, when I was listening to Middle Child, when he played it, he obviously shouts out Drake in the beginning. And me and my best friend Chase kind of made it a mission to make sure that these two niggas were cool, because everybody was like pitting them against each other, like who's gonna be Jay-Z, who's gonna be Nas. And we were like, that shit is kind of corny. Like, these niggas are completely different. They're not, neither one of them is gonna be Jay-Z, neither one of them is gonna be Nas. They're gonna be Drake and they're gonna be J. Cole. And I remember Polo and Don had a skate party one night, and they were both in LA, and we just like schemed some shit. He was like, bro, you call Cole and have him come to the skate party, and I'm gonna have Drake pull up. And I think we got there with Cole early. Drake pulled up a little bit later. And as soon as Drake got there, we just had them niggas talk, to where it was just like they was able to just hang out, exchange information. And, you know, they obviously were like kind of fans of each other already, but we didn't want any of that stupid media shit and shit in the blogs to kind of get in their heads early.
That gets hyped up like a lot of the time with big artists like that. It's like you want to pit them together. And I think I always say, like, do people really want to see J. Cole and Drake beef, or Kendrick and J. Cole beef? Like, that's not good for just the way people listen to music now. It just doesn't make sense.
Right. It was different. It was different in the early 2000s era, when, you know, it was like creating the drama. Now that we know so much about these people, because remember when Ja Rule and 50 Cent were beefing, we really knew nothing about the real beginning and why that shit was. It was just entertainment to us. We didn't know how dangerous that shit really was for them. I didn't even know until I started working for 50, and he would tell me stories. And I would just be like, Jesus, this is insane, actually. But now that we know so much about these people, it would be lame to see that shit, to where it's just like, y'all are both cool niggas. Y'all, neither one of y'all are into like any shit that would actually clash with the other person. So we would rather hear records with Drake and Kendrick, or Drake and Cole, or Kendrick and Cole, than see dudes beef about shit. Like, because at the end of the day, we would know, like, okay, what, y'all gonna really fight when you see each other? Probably not.
Yeah, no, it's funny, man. I'm glad y'all made that mission happen, because, like, I always thought that beef was just so contrived and just like,
it's forced.
Yeah, it's forced. It's like Cole isn't really that guy. Drake is definitely one of those, like, I want to be the best rapper, and he kind of has that energy. But even him kind of beefing with someone isn't something he'll first do. And I think that was just like, just the internet media pitting them against each other, rather than, and just fans too. I think fans are the cause of a lot of that shit.
A lot of it was just writers, to where it was just like, oh, we have to crown the next generation, and these two seem to be ahead of the pack. But it's just like, don't pit them niggas against each other, and also leave Jay-Z and Nas out of it. Let these guys become who they're meant to be, not try to have them live up to some expectation that another artist has created in a totally different time and era. You know what I mean? Like it's funny, I think about it all the time sometimes. It's like Cole and Drake both started out when we were still pressing up CDs. And now we're in a totally different space where my laptop don't even have a CD player.
Man.
So, and now we're in, like, there's so many artists now that have never had CDs put in stores, because stores don't even sell them. Like, so it's weird to say that. And that's why, honestly, Middle Child is such a great song for Cole, because it's like, he literally was like put in that middle era, like the middle of the transition of the music industry, both of them, to where it's like, damn, niggas was really pressing up CDs. I remember going and buying 20 J. Cole Sideline Story CDs and just handing them out to kids on the street on my corporate card, because I was just trying to get my nigga numbers up. So I was just like, but I can't even do that no more. I got to just grab somebody's phone and stream a song a million times if I'm trying to help. but it's completely different. But yeah, no, that was definitely something that me and Chase made like a definite, like, we're gonna make sure these niggas are friends. Like, we're not gonna let some writers pit them against each other because of some stupid shit of what they want to see happen. Like, that shit was whack to us.